Amazon did me dirty. So I ordered oil from Amazon, some Schaefer's 5W50 for the track meet, because the oil in here was from Mustang Week, which got cooked because that was a track day, 2 track days, and I've been driving on it, same oil, so it's due for an oil change, especially if we're gonna go track it. It doesn't need to be raced on cooked motor oil, but we got to go get some more oil. I ordered everything I needed for the oil change in one order, by the way. For some reason, they delivered 6 out of the 8 quarts that I oiled plus the filter on it separately. I don't understand that. Let's make a cocktail. Track day tomorrow, and I was going to go over what oil to use for track day. Like, what would be good oil for you to use? And we can kind of have a little discussion about that. Clearly, I have some Schaefer's 5W50. The brand is not as important, I guess. I know there's probably some brands that would be preferential over others, but the important things is track days, 5W50. When you're about to really put, the engines like a Coyote through its paces in a motorsport, situation, 5W50 is what is the go-to. So I don't know what happened to Amazon. These were supposed to be delivered with 8 quarts. I did them all together. Like, the order was all together. They showed up in 2 different boxes, and they were from the same vendor on Amazon. So I'm confused as to how we lost 2 quarts, but maybe for the next one, right? So now, instead of it being a cool little video of like, we're gonna use, for this go round, Schaefer's 9000. Well, now it's gonna be a little bit of an experiment, because now we're gonna use Schaefer 9000 plus Pennzoil Ultra Platinum 5W30. Found that at Walmart. So I'll have 8 quarts of oil in the car. However, it's just not going to be 8 quarts of 5W30, which is not the end of the world. I've even been to track days on 5W30. Your Coyote will survive on 5W30 oil, okay? Trust me, it'll be all right. It'll be just fine. So we're going to do this oil change. We're going to knock it out, because guess what? We got the track day tomorrow, and brake pads are still good from the last track outing. We don't need to grease all the fitting, all the suspension bits, because it's not. It's too soon to do something like that. Everything else seems to be in order. The car seems to be in good health. I drove it the other day, felt great. Pretty excited to test out the new sway bar. That's what we're doing at the track day. Is we're testing out this new sway bar, and with the test of the new sway bar, we're gonna see if we can't crack off a 149. I really want to get a 149. It's gonna be hot tomorrow, so that's gonna be a limitation, because the tires are gonna get greasy pretty quick when we have the peak heat out in the day. But I feel like I have a 149 in the car, so we're gonna try and do that. Let's go chase his oil. Yeah. And I get to show you the oil filler upper in action as well. Nice fresh filter. Got kind of a slow drain to it. Good old thick stuff. Drain speed kind of. Get our cap back on. All right. Oh, we got the oil in the car. I suck at aiming for that funnel. But I just fill up each one of those things. Even when I build a device to help me, I still suck at it. I filled the entire thing, but or yeah, just a little bit. All right, simple as that. Oils changed for our little track outing. So this isn't really an official event. It's not a racing event. It's not even an HPDE event. It's an SRD day at MSR Houston, which stands for Stress Relief Day. Basically, it's a day that there's nothing going on the track. Now, during the summertime here in Texas, it gets pretty hot. So the high tomorrow is 90 degrees. And during the summertime, the traffic on track is actually pretty darn light. So that's what I'm banking on for tomorrow is the track traffic will be a little bit light. I'll be able to go out there. I'll get plenty of laps around the track, repetitions, get a good feel for a racing line, learn trail braking, and try to improve my vision driving around the track because that's going to be the main focus, right? Because we have a rear sway bar on the car, new suspension settings, which is a little bit softer. It's nothing groundbreaking, but basically I kind of used the coilovers as a crutch to prevent the body roll in the back by just making them stiff back there. So now that we have a rear sway bar, I soften the rear coilovers a pretty good bit. So we're going to try out the new rear sway bar, and as driver improvement, I'm going to work on my trail braking and I'm going to work on my vision, right? Because I find that I'm focusing too much for too long on the next point of the track that I need to be there. I need to be looking, establish where I got to go, and then start focusing on the next turn, focusing on position, braking and throttle inputs for the next segment, not just next apex, right? Because if you're doing that, then what ends up happening is the effect usually, you know, when you're driving the hood of the car, what it usually ends up happening is you're braking too much, or you're focusing on just that situation. You're not focusing on big picture things. That's what I'm going to work on tomorrow. So pretty excited. It's going to be a pretty light track day. I don't expect that anything groundbreaking is going to happen. I'm going to go for my 149. I can't just show up and just not do that, right? But of course, when the track heats up, the surface, gets a little hot, which makes the tires a little greasy. If that happens, then we'll be out there for focusing on self-improvement, finding good flow of running through the track and things like that. We'll definitely work on that. But we're going to see if we can't get a new personal best. And if we can't, hey, there's always next time. But we're going to definitely use this time for testing the new components and a little bit of driver improvement. But yeah, we're always going to at least make an attempt when we go out to MSR. So it's going to be a sunshiny day. I think the low is like 80 degrees. High is going to be 90 degrees, unfortunately, but it'll be a good time. It looks like there's like maybe 7 or 8 people that might be showing up. So it's going to be a pretty light day. I'm excited. This was a nice little oil change video. So yeah, so to keep in mind, when we go racing on track, we are using 5W50. I have brand preferences. Like I have a couple brand preferences, but I am not one brand, gotta have the one brand, this one brand or nothing. I'm not like that. Clearly, right? Because we put Pennzoil and Schaefer's in there. Last time you saw me do Motorcraft, time before that we had Mobil 1. So, you know, yeah, they work, right? Because if you are changing your oil, if you're racing your car and you're changing your oil often enough, it's not gonna matter what brand it is, because all oil brands have to abide by a standard for vehicles and for them to be operating. And I mean, it matters. It probably does matter when you stretch engine oil past 5,000 to 10 and 15,000 miles per change interval of like daily commute duty. However, what we're going to be doing, motorsports, we're going to be, you know, getting after it. If you're changing it often enough and you're keeping it fresh in the car, the brand becomes such a minor detail on it. So anyways, Schaefer's, it's not the cheapest oil out there, but it's a good oil. I hear a lot of good things about it. And then the most important part at protecting, like particularly Coyote engines, is the 5W50 weight, because that is what's going to be the most effective trait about engine oil and protecting your car when you are participating in motorsports. So hit the like button, comment down below. Do you guys have oil preferences? You know, and what are your thoughts on oil change intervals and things like that? I mean, I don't think anybody's out there going to change my mind. However, I am open to hearing out other people's opinions. And it's your first time here, and you want to see more of this stuff, more of this tech stuff, what's happening, day in the life, the vlog, the track stuff, why don't you go ahead and think about subscribing, and I will see you guys later.